Welcome back. It's time now for Media Watch. I'm joined by James Creedon. Good evening to you, James.
Evening, Tom.
Now, very much the talk of the town today is Florence Cassé, the French woman who was jailed for 60 years back in 2007. Never thought she'd see the light of day again, and she's back on French soil.
That's right. Heroes welcome for her. I think that's the expression of the day, really, in France. She was welcomed by the foreign minister at the airport. A lot of support for her on French social networks. But questions being asked about what actually happened 7 years ago. Just to remind viewers, she was accused of kidnapping, sentenced to 60 years. She spent 7 years in prison, and her then partner is still in prison, and he has never even had the chance to have an appeal or anything like that. And the French media are asking questions about him. This is a photo of him here by the name of Israel Vallarta. And so there were three people that it seems, or it appears, he had been involved in kidnapping, held on a ranch that she was living on for a year. So many are saying, well, she was let free because of inconsistencies and problems with the Mexican justice system. But does this mean that she's actually innocent? And that's what this headline here is asking. A lot of the Mexican front pages asking the same question. This one here saying free without being proved innocent, and another one here pointing to the indignation of the victims, some of whom were expressing themselves today. This person on Mexican Twitter saying goodbye Florence, with a photo of a hand that had been where a finger had been cut off
mutilated,
by.
Yeah,
that's right, a problem with these related to the kidnappings. This person in France, happy for Florence Cassé and saying thanks to Sarkozy, grâce à Sarkozy. Sarkozy, of course, made a big issue of this during his presidency. He fought tooth and nail to have her freed. It didn't really work out, but there you go, it's happened in the end. Another person saying here, well, you know, do all of the rolling news channels in France need to stop and treat this as if it's the only news of the day? Because that's exactly what happened in France today. It was the story of the day.
Certainly, and we have been talking about it a considerable amount,
yes,
haven't we? And of course, yeah, she must be very glad to get back to France, because they were shouting "killer" her at the airport in Mexico.
She had to come out in a bulletproof jacket.
Absolutely.
She's a hate figure there and a hero in France.
Extraordinary. Now to the front page of the Spanish daily El País, and a fake photograph of Hugo Chavez, and it seems they were duped.
Let's take a look at the photo first. This is on a grab. I have a screen grab on the computer. You can see here a photo of a man bearing some resemblance to Hugo Chavez, with a pipe stuck in his mouth. Of course, Hugo Chavez is in Cuba being treated for very serious cancer. Let's take a look at this video, because the photo that they took in El País is actually a screen grab of this video. Now, when the pictures play a little bit longer, that's a lovely shot there of Hugo, but it's not Hugo. And I think actually the longer the pictures play, the clearer it is that it's not Hugo Chavez. So this is a pretty massive error for it was one of Spain's paper of record, really, and that is essentially what a lot of the reaction has been today, saying, hold on a minute, they paid, you would imagine, quite a lot of money for some guy who obviously just took a screen grab of this video here of some completely unrelated person. And this Pedro J. Ramirez, he is an editor for El Mundo, and El Mundo said, you know, we were offered the photo as well. We didn't fall for it, and if you see this photo anywhere else, then you can tell us that we were wrong, but we weren't wrong. And here is if you type El País into Twitter today, hashtag El País, this is pretty much the only thing that's being mentioned. So you have a newspaper which instead of making the news, they are the news for all the wrong reasons. El País, I would remind viewers, has had a lot of financial difficulties recently, and this tweet here saying, what's this? This is a sad day for journalism in Spain when the leader paper spends a load of money on this fake pic.
Not least because it's somewhat disrespectful, isn't it? I mean,
That's
regardless
right.
of your opinions of Hugo
right.
Chavez. Now, another case of the media fooling people, and it's happened in Portugal.
In Portugal, across the border. A bad day for Iberia. Here you have a guy by the name of, hold on, I've lost his name, that's rather unhelpful.
He has a name.
He has a name. Artur Baptista da Silva. Very quickly, he presented himself as an expert on the economy. He said he had worked for the UN, for the World Bank. None of it was true. The guy was a complete fraud. He had a very impressive business card, which seemed to convince an awful lot of people, and he's now been found out, and of course his fraud is being perpetuated on Facebook, where this Facebook page has been dedicated to him. There he is with Winston Churchill. Not. Here he is with Ban Ki-moon, because he said he worked for the World Bank. So Mr. Baptista da Silva has been having a busy few weeks.
Good. Well, it sounds like quite a CV. There should be a film about him.
Why not?
Thank you
Thanks,
very much indeed, James Creedon. We'll do stay tuned to France 24. Plenty more news coming up in just a few moments.